Keely.
Good morning and welcome to Wake Up Call. I'm Keely McCormick.
And I'm Malik Jackson. We have a packed show for you today. We have a lot of information, a lot of news, very filled with news today.
That's right. Let's start off with breaking news. About an hour ago, Melania Trump's plane was forced to land after a mechanical issue that led to smoke in the cabin. About 10 minutes after the plane landed back, or after the plane took off, reporters could see a thin haze of smoke and the smell of something burning. The plane landed safely back at Joint Base Andrews, and Trump's communication director told CNN that the incident was a minor mechanical issue and that everyone is safe.
Glad to hear that. And moving along to a developing story, the death of journalist Jamal Khashoggi. He's a Washington Post journalist. He was killed in Saudi Arabia at their consulate in Turkey. He is now up until this point, the Saudi Arabian government has denied any involvement in his death, but sources close to the situation say they are preparing to release an explanation on how an interrogation of Khashoggi went wrong, according to people with close knowledge of the situation. After the killing, the journalist's body was cut up into pieces. Saudi Arabia has given access to the consulate to Turkish officials who are currently investigating.
Following the developments of this story, Secretary of State Mike Pompeo flew out to meet with the Saudi Arabian leader who denied any involvement in the death of Khashoggi. The president reiterated that same sentiment on Twitter after he says he spoke with the leader of Saudi Arabia.
And Marco Rubio says that this is worth blowing our deal with Saudi Arabia if they are indeed responsible for this murder. He also stressed
I can tell you that human rights is worth blowing that up.
High ground if we do nothing. Take a look.
I can tell you that human rights is worth blowing that up, and luring someone into a consulate where they're thereby murdered, dismembered, and disposed of is a big deal. By the way, this happens to be a green card holder of the United States and who have been a journalist, but he could have been, you know, a maintenance worker at the Washington Post. It wouldn't have mattered. It's a human being whose life was taken by a direct act of a foreign government by luring him into a diplomatic facility in a third country. I mean, any one of those factors is bad. Put them all together and it's catastrophic. And as far as arms sales are concerned, it's not the money. You know, there are other countries we could sell that to, imports. It's just not the money. The arms sales does give us leverage over a country. When they have our weapon systems, they need our maintenance, they need our replacement equipment and the like, and it gives us leverage over their behavior. You know, that's why we're talking about arms sales now, because it's leverage. But they'll buy those weapons from someone else. But I don't care how much money it is. There isn't enough money in the world to purchase back our credibility on human rights and the way nations should conduct themselves. And we lose our credibility and our moral standing to criticize Putin for murdering people, Assad for murdering people, Maduro in Venezuela for murdering people. We can't say anything about that if we allow Saudi Arabia to do it, and all we do is a diplomatic slap on the wrist.
And as this story continues to develop, we, of course, right here at Wake Up Call will follow the latest developments. Moving along, Stormy Daniels and Donald Trump's tweets are back in the news. After her defamation lawsuit against the president was dismissed in court this week, Donald Trump tweeted, and in part calling the adult film star a horse face. The president faced widespread condemnation from both sides of the aisle. Daniels responded via Twitter, finishing the tweet off with a game on Tiny, a reference to details of her affair with reality star Donald Trump. This isn't the first time Trump's made an attack on a woman's appearance. In fact, here's an entire package dedicated to him doing just that. And it looks like we don't have that package, so moving along.
There's a new royal baby on the way. Meghan Markle and Prince Harry announced that Meghan is pregnant with her first child and is due to give birth in the spring of 2019. The official announcement said the two have appreciated all of the support that they've received from people around the world since their wedding in May, and they are delighted to be able to share this happy news with the public. I know I'm pretty excited. I'm kind of obsessed with the royal family, so I'm excited to see this baby. I think it'll be a good-looking kid. Meghan Markle is beautiful, so.
She is very beautiful. Moving along, billionaire CEO and co-founder of Microsoft, Paul Allen, passed away on Monday. He was 65 years old and died from complications related to non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, 2 weeks after he stated that he was being treated for the disease. Non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, is a cancer of the lymphatic system. Microsoft founder Bill Gates said Paul was a true partner and dear friend, personally computing would not have existed without him. Allen was known for his philanthropy work. He founded several organizations and donated more than $2 billion to charity. And we're going to toss it over to a package to see the impact that Paul Allen had on Seattle.
A bouquet rests at the base of the Allen Institute, the neighborhood that's been remade seemingly in record time.
There's been a big part of Seattle turning into sort of a tech hub, from sort of an industrial hub to a technological hub.
South Lake Union is now home to high-rise offices and luxury apartments, in large part because of Paul Allen's real estate company, Vulcan.
I appreciate it's becoming like a more dense neighborhood.
Allen wanted to create an urban park called the Seattle Commons, but it was a no-go with voters. Instead, the billionaire helped shape one of the biggest corporate campuses in the nation.
To be part of that, and be patient, to see all those things happen over a period of time and do something good for the city, that's great.
80% of Vulcan's projects are in South Lake Union, and the city will never be the same.
Compared to like about 5 years ago, I mean, this city's booming.
And that's very sad, and he owned two teams in Washington, the Seattle Seahawks and the Portland Trail Blazers, and those communities are very sad of his loss. Stay tuned to Wake Up Call, because we'll be right back with Sally with our weather.
For students searching for a way to stay active in an outdoorsy way, the City of Lawrence has bike trails running in every direction, and with the new bike share program, we can stay in shape as we tour the sights of our beautiful city. Clinton Lake is only a short 30-minute bike ride away from Daisy Hill and has the most incredible sunset location in all of Lawrence. Walking campus may give you the KU calves, but biking can give you the KU thighs. Bike Lawrence today.
Welcome back to Wake Up Call. Right behind me you can see all the weather information you need for this weekend. And you can see right behind me from the effects of Hurricane Michael, you can see Waffle House came in and brought their own minivans and their food trucks to feed all the people, and out of all the 200,000 people that are left without homes. Moving on to the next pictures, you can see all of the damage done behind me. Houses were moving yards and miles from their house where they were once posted. Only one house was able to survive on their strong post. And if you can see all the damage and how it actually is so close to home off Mexico Beach in Florida, off the Panhandle of Florida, donations are always welcome at Red Cross. And so what to expect for today's weather and later this week, we have cold breezy nights. It's going to drop down to 36 and 30s with a little wind chill of 8 mph and 9 mph gusts. But you're going to have a lot of sunshine. It's going to be nice and warm outside when you're walking home from class. And maybe potential rainfall on Thursday night. But if you look behind me, there's only 40% of rainfall on Thursday. And so moving into later, the forecast for mostly cloudy on Friday, it's going to have a little potential of 40% rain Friday night around like 2 a.m. But moving on to Saturday, it's going to be a perfect game day. It's going to be nice and a little bit windy with 9-mile-per-hour winds, but it's going to be nice and relaxing for a good game day against Texas. And so exiting off here, it's mostly sunny all weekend, and it's going to end with more warmer temperatures moving into next week. Now, thank you for, we're going to toss it back to Malik and Keely for more information.
Thank you, Weather Gal Sal. It's exciting to see the sunshine that's coming for us in the end of this week.
We love to see that, and she's good at what she does, and she keeps us informed. That's what's important. Moving along to a sad and very urgent story out of Wisconsin. 13-year-old Jamie Kloss is missing and in danger after her parents were murdered. An Amber Alert was issued Monday after police received a 911 call from the house. The 911 call heard a disturbance in the background, and no one actually spoke on the phone. When police arrived, the parents were dead and the child was gone. Police say they don't know how long the parents have been dead, but believe Jamie was in the house when it happened. The FBI and Wisconsin Department of Justice is investigating this case right now. And so we, of course, will keep you guys updated on this and hopefully the return of that missing 13-year-old girl. But very sad news is both of her parents have been shot dead.
Yeah, it's very devastating. Moving along, Mary Bono, head of the United States Gymnastics Organization, is stepping down just 4 days after getting the position. This happened after she tweeted out a video of her blacking out the Nike stripe on a pair of shoes. This is in response to Nike's Kaepernick ad. Mary Bono was the 4th person to head to the USAGN in the last 6 months, and now they're looking for a new head.
Revolving door there. What are we in college for? Do we even need this degree?
What are we doing here?
I'm not sure I need the degree anymore. The companies you see listed on the screen no longer require a college education to go to work for. Those companies include Google, Whole Foods, Apple, Bank of America, Hilton, Costco, IBM, Chipotle, the Home Depot, Starbucks.
Wow.
You know, that is a remarkable
Those are
list.
some big companies.
Apple, Google, you know, I mean, Chipotle,
Starbucks,
Costco, Home Depot.
Those are college. I could get that in college.
I
But
can see,
Apple.
but Apple, Google.
Maybe we should just drop
IBM,
out now.
Hilton.
IBM's a good one too.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna drop out now. Goodbye, journalism career. See you later. It's good
Peace
knowing
out,
you.
KU. All right, well, after this commercial break, we'll be back with Week in Review, and I come bearing good news and more sports, so stay tuned. Welcome back once again. Now time for Week in Review.
So let's go. The spin off the original show Roseanne debuted last night. If you remember, Roseanne was canceled after the actress released a racially charged tweet. Well, the Connors, which is all the cast except Roseanne, dealt with her termination by having her killed off by an opioid overdose. So they took her off. And then she tweeted after some explicit language basically saying, "I'm not dead." So she played along.
Interesting. Climate change may affect beer. That's right. A study shows that one of the main ingredients in beer, barley crop yields, is affected by the rise in temperature and may cause for a shortage in beer. KU college students might not be so happy about that.
I know. What about what's KU without a little bit free beer Friday?
Ah.
Oh, come on, guys! Climate change is real. Maybe that'll get the last, the last deniers who say it's not real to say it's real.
To
because,
believe it once their beer's taken away.
Once their beer is gone. Moving along. Is Elizabeth Warren? I mean, hold that. Tell them I can't read today.
No, we're really struggling.
Like, these reads are...
Coming back from fall break, we need to do some warm-up exercises.
Moving along. Elizabeth Warren released DNA results that she hoped would prove the president wrong for his attacks on her after she claimed she was Native American. Well, it may have backfired. After results showed she was 1/1024th of Native American, so like 0.000000009% Native American. I don't think it was her smartest decision, but hey, she did it.
Yeah. Well, after a short couple of months and an engagement, get ready, Ariana Grande and Pete Davidson split up. They've not given a reason. This comes a few weeks after the singer's ex-boyfriend of 2 years, Mac Miller, died.
Well, I
think that plays a part in the breakup.
Yeah, but could you not expect that when after 2 weeks, in their relationship, he pops the question already?
Yeah, it was doomed.
It was the writing on the wall.
Yeah.
It wasn't going to last. Moving along. And you'll hear this a lot over the next 2 weeks, but make sure you tune in to KUJH's live coverage of the 2018 midterm elections, anchored by yours truly, with a team of qualified reporters, commentators, and political experts. We are going to break it all down for you on election night, and we are excited because this is an historic election that could tilt the balance of power in the state of Kansas and across the country in the United States legislature. So it's going to be a fun coverage. I know you'll be there with me.
Yes, I will. It'll be an exciting night.
Nerve-wracking, busy, frantic, but it'll be fun.
Oh, no, it'll be good.
Well worth the wait.
That's right.
Stay tuned because we'll be right back on Wake Up Call with some sports. And very good news I heard is coming up. I don't know.
Stay tuned.
When you shop local in the heart of the city, you support the people that make our community thrive. The money you spend here stays here, in this place we call our home. Lawrence, Kansas, where there's good old-fashioned hometown pride. Eat local, drink local, shop local.
Welcome back. And a rough weekend for Chiefs fans. The winning streak comes to an end. The New England Patriots won as the game was nearing the end with a 28-yard Steven Gostkowski field goal. The Chiefs fell 43-40, so a very close game. Patriots will play my hometown team next week, the Chicago Bears. Go Bears. The Chiefs will be back at Arrowhead Stadium taking on the Cincinnati Bengals Sunday night at 7:20 p.m. Like, were you upset about the loss?
You know, I was upset with the loss because I understood that if our defense would just step up one time and make one, crucial stop, we could have gone into overtime. If we would have got the ball first, I mean, that offense is pretty much unstoppable. You saw that. You can slow them down for a half, but there's no way you can slow that team down. So I was upset, but I was like, the bright side is we have three starting defensive players out for that game, including Eric Berry and Justin Houston, all pro football players. So we're only going to get better on the defensive side. We can only get better on the offensive side. You can't win all your games the entire season. So what better place to lose than in New England? And then we'll still get home field advantage. We'll still win our division. We'll still win our conference, and we'll still go to the Super Bowl. So it's a small hump on a long road.
Yeah, well, hopefully we can come back from that. I'm definitely
I
a
saw
fan.
the Bears lost this weekend.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to talk about that. My mom tries to take family pictures in the middle of the Bears game, and me and my dad and my little brother are like, gotta get inside and watch. And
it was a good game, though. It was a good game for the Bears. So we'll move along. Hopefully the Patriots beat the Bears this weekend, too.
I hope
but
not.
Go Chiefs as they play on Sunday night, as Keely said, against the Bengals. And moving on to a serious story that could have huge implications right here at the University of Kansas. KU basketball is under fire and under heavy scrutiny as the Adidas pay-for-play wiretap federal trial is set for closing arguments. Text messages have come up between members of Adidas and Bill Self along with his assistant, Curtis Townsend. In the latest revelation, a phone call recording was released of Curtis Townsend saying, quote, "If that's what it takes to get him here for 10 months, end quote. In response to paying a player for and securing housing for the player's family, in which this would violate NCAA rules. KU has not responded yet, besides Bill Safe's statement last week where he said he wouldn't comment on it until he needs to. And he says he doesn't want to seem opaque about the situations, but it's a very weary situation because, I mean, if they can prove that KU paid a player, NCAA violations, no tournament, Big 12 titles ripped away. So they better hope that this is all they have because, again, they have the recording and then they also have text messages between Gatto, which is one of the people testifying for the prosecution, and Bill Self and Curtis Townsend, and a phone call. So a lot of moving parts, but if this comes down, if they get some more evidence, no.
This will not be good
Our
for our
one
basketball.
sport.
Yeah, really.
Our
Don't
one
take it from
sport,
us.
Don't take it. Whatever you do, don't take it. Oh my God. God, show mercy on us.
All right, well, moving on to some more positive news. Niall McDermott, a fifth grader from San Francisco, finished a physical challenge that most adults would not consider doing. McDermott finished 55 Ks in 50 days, all in honor of his grandpa who's battling cancer. He ran his first 5K near his home in Golden Gate Park and then continued to run a 5K every day for the next 50 days. The funds this fifth grader raised will be donated to the Bonnie J. Adario Lung Cancer Foundation in honor of his grandpa. And that is it. That's a great story that we love to hear. Positivity spreading around.
That next story wasn't so positive, but we love that, and that's a very courageous, brave, and strong act by that young fella down there running. Always
5Ks it's 3 miles. So 50? I mean, I guess, I don't know. Yeah,
could you do? She thought about it. I was like, I could do that. Could you do that?
You need an off day. That's 50 days. You need an off day in there. That's a lot of running. I would get shin splints.
It's very important that he did that, and he did it for a good cause, which is something we always like to say. We have a special guest, but just wait just 1 second because I want to take time to wish my mom Dion Brown a happy birthday. Happy birthday, Mom.
Should we
I love
sing
you.
to her?
Happy birthday. No, it's more like happy birthday
I don't know this beat, but
happy birthday.
happy birthday to her. She is
So-
a great woman.
Oh yeah, amazing. The reason why I'm
Raised this
sitting here.
guy.
So love you, Mom. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you later. But we have a special guest in the studio today. I think they're gonna put him on. Alpha.
There he is.
Alpha.
Oh, look at that little guy.
Come here. How you doing? He's gonna also join us for Halloween. He's gonna join us for Halloween.
He's gonna be our next anchor.
It's funny because when I met the dog, I wasn't terribly scared of him, but could you imagine seeing this dog for the first time?
He's a big guy.
I
I
would
saw him
be
for the first time this
terrified.
morning.
100 and how many?
115.
Can you pick him up?
If I have to.
So one question: do you walk Alpha or does Alpha walk you?
It goes both ways.
Oh, I think
How old is
Alpha.
Alpha?
When there's a
walks you.
squirrel, he's walking me for sure. He's pulling me, but he's 5.
5.
So is this as big as he's gonna get?
This is as big as he's been since he's 1.
Oh, he left the shop. This is our own Gary Lezak. You know, Sally Chabuk brings in the dogs to the studio. That is great. Anything else you'd like to add? How was your fall break?
It was fun. Went to St. Louis, saw the Arch.
You went
Super
to
cool.
Mizzou too, I saw.
Went to Mizzou. Definitely not KU. So happy to be back.
Oh, never could be. Never
They don't
could
even
be.
compare.
You went back to Chicago?
Went back to Chicago, watched some high school volleyball games, went shopping. Where were you, here in Lawrence?
Yeah, I worked Saturday and Sunday, and then early in the week I had a meeting with the dean. You know, she met with me. She met with me. She wanted to meet with me. I didn't want to meet with her. She wanted to meet
Important
with me.
stuff.
No, but I met with the dean about some pressing issues right here in the journalism department. You know,
Very
but
pressing issues.
no, but that was fun. So it'll actually pertain to our election coverage that I told you you're going to hear a lot about. Make sure you tune in Tuesday, November 6th to KUJH News, tv.ku.edu, or if you're in Lawrence, you can turn into channel 31. And if you have AT&T Uverse, it's channel 99. Keely will be there. Sally, maybe you can give us a weather update on election day. How it's going to go. Is it going to rain? It's going to snow?
I'll let you know. I'll tell you what you wear in the morning.
There we go. And then we'll be back Wednesday morning right here covering that election cycle.
That's right. Well, that's all the news we have for you today. Have a great weekend, a safe weekend. I'm Keely McCormick.
I'm Sally Chabuk.
I'm Malik Jackson. We'll see you right back here next Wednesday at 9 a.m.